I guess this is a dead giveaway of what's coming up next. What's coming up next? Yeah. I seen their recent Twitter frickin' Palworld's recent friggin' Twitter post. Oh, actually, I said something in the Discord about it. I was like, bruh, really? Really? I saw the US patent Nintendo put for the mount mechanic for Pokemon. It was clearly made to be about the Switch. It was intentionally confusing so they could get it because they knew they couldn't get it in good faith. A lot of the patents that Nintendo are using in this fight, to my knowledge, were actually not, like, they didn't actually receive those patents until after Palworld was released. And in my opinion, that that should not even be allowed. You should not be able to patent things after the fact. You shouldn't be able to do it at all. Like, patenting certain mechanics is so stupid. It should be about producing good games, not nobody else can throw creatures out of a ball. I'm having a harder time being someone who uses Nintendo products, I won't lie. Same. I wish I could boycott them, but Pokemon. So fudge me, I guess. Fudge me, I guess. Not to mention they filed those patents after. Yep. Exactly. Technically, it's illegal. Pocket Pair is arguing that those patents were made in bad faith and shouldn't be completely abolished. Okay. Alright. I don't think you should be able to patent stuff in a video game. No. Not like, especially not mechanics. Just cancel me. I can't stop loving Pokemon. Same. I love Pokemon too much. I'm sorry, you guys. You can unsub and unfollow, but I can't help it. Yeah, no ball will use cubes instead. She loves her $90 Pokemon game on the $700 Switch. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. Ahem. My character sneezes in this video game. Therefore, nobody else is allowed to sneeze in video games. Not allowed. Absolutely not allowed. I really feel like Nintendo was its peak when Iwata was president. After he passed, everything has been going downhill. I feel like that's usually what happens. Like, the main person who made the thing absolutely great passes away, and then someone else takes over and just turns it to complete shit. Iwata was actually a gamer, he understood. Oh, that makes sense. Just remember, the Nintendo of America CEO came from EA, so you really don't hate Nintendo enough. What? I didn't know that. Damn. I did not know that. Okay, let's see what the hell is going on here in the Palworld and Nintendo.
He does exactly what I do, but better.
I absolutely despise Nintendo. Hate them down to the core. Don't care about their games. Don't care about Mario. Don't care about Zelda. Don't care about Pokemon. Don't care.
Okay, not same. I'm sorry, but I love Zelda and Pokemon.
About Metroid. Believe it or not, some of us exist.
You can't do that. You have to go by where.
And you know exactly the type of person I'm talking about. I mean, why else would you have clicked on this video? As a matter of fact, you should hit subscribe for that reason alone and get us to 100K. That way, when I get my silver play button, I can show myself unboxing it on camera. This is a face reveal 8 years in the making. Unlike a single Pokemon game, which all feel like they've been made in under 12 months. In my previous video, we discussed the ongoing lawsuit between Pocket Pair and Nintendo. And, well, if you want to watch that and catch up on how wrong I was, I'll leave a link down below to the previous video. But I'll catch you up to date as quick as I can. Essentially, Nintendo has been trying to sue Pocket Pair on 3 different patents that involve gameplay features because they couldn't take them to court for character designs. Instead, Nintendo has chosen to take Pocket Pair to court over gameplay mechanics that they patented and claimed to have created, such as throwing a capture device in a 3D.
Nobody else is allowed to have capturing systems in their games. Nobody!
Space that allows you to capture a monster and unleash it for battle. They also patented the ability to mount and fly creatures, and one patent focuses on character movement.
Okay, so they're also gonna have to, like, they're gonna have to sue World of Warcraft now, they're gonna have to sue Guild Wars, and they're gonna have to sue, like, so many other games.
And Collision specifically, involving character interactions and pathfinding. So these are 3 systems.
Like, they're just gonna, they're gonna have to, like, sue all the other games now.
As decided, Nintendo can dictate who can and cannot use.
I never broke the law. I am the law.
That's right. So when you see Doom Guy mounting that dragon in the latest Doom, the Dark Ages trailer, I guess eventually they should expect Nintendo to be knocking at their door. Or Monster Hunter, or Temtem, or, you know, I can name you dozens of games.
And they're gonna have a lot of lawsuits on their hands.
Utilize this system. But as we discussed in the previous video, Nintendo is a very petty corporation who does not like to be outclassed or shined by indie devs who outdo them. So they've decided to solely go after Pocket Pair because they have a game that they deem is too similar to Pokemon. Well, in reality,
so stupid. They're gonna have to sue Rockstar because of how vague the mounting patent is. It can apply to cars and airplanes. Yup. Oh yeah, and don't forget Red Dead Redemption.
what it is it's just better than Pokemon, and that's a threat to them. Just as we thought Pocket Pair had the upper hand in the court case with some decent arguments, it turns out no. Even though Nintendo had just barely filed for these patents as late as 2021, they have been able to swing
exactly. The patents are literally, like, new. They only just applied for them. So, like, hello. Welcome in, Rose!
The law in their favor and abuse this patenting law in order to get Palworld to drop crucial game mechanics from their game. I'm not even kidding. That is how evil Nintendo is. Regarding the lawsuit changes to Palworld and the future, we would like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share as much information as we would like, but trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is ongoing. Currently, we remain involved in prolonged legal proceedings regarding alleged patent infringement. We continue to dispute these claims and assert the invalidity of the patents in question. However, we have had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to development and distribution of Palworld. On November 30th, 2024, we released patch version 0.311 for Palworld. This patch removed the ability to summon pals by throwing pal spheres and instead changed it to a static summon next to the player.
This made me so sad the last time I got on and played, which was like forever ago now. But, like, yeah, it just feels like doing that just made it feel so dead, sort of. Like, I don't really care that much, but, like, still. Hopefully they'll implement something where they, I don't know, throw a square or triangle or something instead, because the way they have it now where it just kind of summons it beside you is really just uneventful. Prepared to get sadder. Yeah. Because what they have to change now is even worse, I feel.
Several other game mechanics were also changed with this patch, as many have speculated these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players feel the same frustration. Unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to an even greater deterioration of the gameplay experience for players, it was determined that this change was necessary. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that with the implementation of patch V0.55, we must make yet another compromise. From this patch onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with pals. Pals in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to gliding, but players will now need to have a glider in their inventory in order to glide. We understand.
Which is so stupid. Because how many other games have this mechanic where you can glide with a creature? And also, what Pokemon game can you glide with a Pokemon? Is that in the most recent games? Which, and all those recent games came before Palworld. Let's go Eevee and Pikachu? Arceus? Okay, but still then, how many other games outside of Palworld can you glide with a creature? Like, so many of them. Zelda did it first. I mean, I guess you could argue Zelda's part of Nintendo, so I don't know, maybe they won't go. Maybe they don't go after them because of that. No more throwing pals in the enemy's face, right, Ketsuya? And you just threw the ball at them. Oh my god, this is so dumb. I really hope that they are not gonna come out with another compromise, and that compromise will be the riding on the pals, because that will really be upsetting. Ugh.
And that this will be disappointing for many, just as it is for us, but we hope our fans understand that these changes are necessary in order to prevent further disruptions to the development of Palworld.
So stupid. Banjo and Banjo and Kazooie. Yeah. Like, and what's sad is that Pocket Pair could probably fight this stuff, but they're like such a smaller company, so they don't have the money to do it. They don't have the money to fight back, so they just have to cave and be like, okay, yeah, fine, we'll change it. Which is Rare, which is owned by Microsoft. Never heard of that game before? Did Nintendo win the case now? No, not yet, Eisen. But there's another compromise that had to be made, so it's still ongoing. The compromise, Eisen, now that they had to make was you can't glide with your pals anymore. Yeah. Sony's backing Pocket Pair? Oh, really? Oh, Pocket Pair is partnering with Sony. Yeah, Palworld dev signs deal with Sony. Ooh, okay. Not that I like Sony either, but you know, okay, cool. I didn't know that. Nope. Nintendo will just slap lawsuit and drag it out. Bleed Pocket Pair dry. Yeah, exactly. They'll just literally bleed them dry until they get what they frickin' want. Nintendo be like, Zelda rides horse. Therefore, we are suing Red Dead Redemption for copying horse riding. Nobody else is allowed to ride horses. Not even in real life. You can't ride a horse anymore, not even in real life.
We also want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and concern this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content to our fans.
Oh, hold on.
fans. On behalf of everyone at Pocket Pair and Team Palworld, thank you again for your continued support.
Do
Damn.
you hate me now?
However much you love Nintendo, however much you love Pokemon or Game Freak, you cannot justify this. This is Nintendo abusing the law in order to eliminate competition. Rather than go out of their way to produce you the best Pokemon experience that you've been asking decades for, they're using their—
Yeah, literally. What's stopping them from going and making a Pokemon game like this that everyone has been asking? What are they scared of? Like, do they think they're going to literally lose all their fans because of Palworld? No. People can be fans of two things. I love Palworld, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna now stop buying Pokemon because I have Palworld. I'll just buy both of them now. Like, I that's what I don't understand the most is why. Why are you threatened by this company? Because you know what's going to make people stop buying your product is doing this to Pocket Pair. That's what will lose you your fans, not allowing Pocket Pair to do whatever the hell they want and you continue doing what you want. Like, I feel like it's counterproductive or whatever you want to call it. The more I look at Nintendo, the more they look to be in panic mode with the decisions they have been making. Yeah, because the decisions they have been making are what is going to lose them their fan base, which is what they're scared of. So, like, what the heck? I stopped buying Pokemon because they stopped being worth the money. I can't stop. I'm sorry. I love Pokemon. I'm excited for the legendary AZ, whatever the heck it's called. The entire industry is scared of taking a risk on something new, so they just put out the same old stale game they always have, even though they have billions of dollars. Yeah, they could literally, like, okay, so you're scared to try something new, but you have so much money that it wouldn't even matter. Try the something new anyways, and if it fails, just don't do it again. They could have Pokemon, has been kept alive due to fan games, and when an artist made a Pokemon Eevee evolution, they're like, nope, you're not getting this Pokemon evolution. I think it was a Sky type too. Damn. I always wondered, like, why aren't there more evolutions already? Yeah, they're missing the Sky type. They're missing a lot. Dragon, yeah, Metal. There's a more that I can't think of. Oh, a bug type. There's quite a few evolutions that they could make. Xbox shot themselves with price increases? I haven't seen that. Nintendo demanded a HoloLive member take their VOD down because they were trying to get a shiny Mew on a Gen 3 cartridge while being in Japan. Why? Like, why? Just leave people alone. You're a friggin' billions of dollars worth company. Oh my gosh. Bug, Dragon, Steel, Ground, Rock, Fighting, and Flying. Yes, okay, thank you, Eisen. Yeah, there's a lot of evolution types that are missing.
Their resources to stomp on people that are delivering that. Do you understand how insane this is? I don't think people get it. I don't think Nintendo fanboys can comprehend exactly what is happening right now. A major publisher and console manufacturer has just gotten a game studio to completely remove a game mechanic out of their game because they claim they have a right to it. A game that you paid for just got gameplay mechanics taken out of it because Nintendo said so. Your games are being affected negatively by this corporation. Can you grasp that? Can you understand what is wrong about this? If not, then like I've said, video and video over again, we are fucked. This would be the equivalent of Square Enix going out of their way to patent turn-based role-playing RPG mechanics and then suing Expedition 33 into taking it right out of their game, even though you already paid. I don't even know how this is legal. I don't know how this passed
Yeah, it
in the
shouldn't
court
be.
of law. This goes beyond anything I have ever seen any game developer do or
Now I want to play Palworld again, damn it.
publisher or manufacturer. This is the most anti-consumer thing I have ever seen this company do. They just screwed over millions of Palworld owners because they were jealous.
Like, you know what would have been awesome, and this would be something that would generate more money for them, is if they were like, oh my gosh, how about hey Palworld, why don't we make a Palworld and Pokemon crossover? You know? Like, that would generate so much income then for the both of them. That would be awesome.
The absurdity of this lawsuit is setting a bad precedent for the rest of the gaming industry. This should legally not be allowed because then what? What if Nintendo wants to patent the jump button? What if Nintendo wants to
exactly.
patent all the basic 3D platforming mechanics that you find in Mario 64? I understand that as much money as Nintendo has, they cannot afford to sue everybody under the sun. But that still gives them the freedom to bully and take down competition.
Do you know what weakness is, Steve? Weakness is believing that competition is healthy.
That they deem a threat because Palworld's numbers on Steam alone has to be what influenced this decision. Had this been any other indie that flew under the radar and didn't break records on Steam, surpassing some of the biggest lifetime numbers of some of the biggest games on there, Nintendo...
Oh my god. Yes. Slasher, yes, that would have been brilliant. Literally reach out to Pocket Pair and be like, hey, you made this awesome friggin' Palworld game. How about you work for us and make a Pokemon one? Yes. Yes, that would have been an even more brilliant idea than what I said. Nintendo has Pokemon so locked down that you couldn't even trade a Gen 3 Pokemon up to modern generation. Yep. Yep, I know about that too, because I was trying to figure out, like, if I wanted to, how would I trade my Pokemon up? And it's like, you can't. You really can't.
Wouldn't have cared. But rather than doing something like putting Pokemon on Steam and combating this, they aim to destroy what developers worked hard to create and what people paid money to play. So they can fuck off. I will never buy another Nintendo console. I will never buy another Nintendo game. Why? Because I don't
I'm sorry, I wish I could. I mean, to be fair, I won't be getting the Switch 2 probably for a long time. So, yeah, because I don't have $700 to spend on it. Pokemon and Call of Duty might as well do a collab. They are so idea starved. Here is the Call of Pokemon. Highest I can get is to the 3DS. Oh, okay. Yeah, after a certain point, it stopped being, like, compatible to trade them up.
The money I give them to go into doing things like this that I have talked about in videos for months, but nobody listens. Nintendo is basically saying you are not even allowed to be influenced by us, not even a smidge. This would be as if you woke up one day.
What? So you can't have a beach. You're not allowed to have any more beaches in your games because Pokemon has a beach.
And all the crafting mechanics in every single survival game you loved was gone because Mojang decided they owned the rights to that. Nintendo is outright trying to have a monopoly over a gameplay mechanic. Not only is it anti-consumer, but it is anti-competitive. It baffles me that any Nintendo shills out there would say,
oh my god, Slasher, thank you, finally someone else said it. The COD games are literally just copy and paste. Slap a new title. It's not even a new title, okay? You just take the freaking same title, Call of Duty, and you add another number to it, and it's the same freaking game. Same game! God dang it! Holy shit! Ark Survival should sue Nintendo for that? Yeah, games should start suing Nintendo. Excuse me, we have this game mechanic in our game, so you cannot have it in Pokemon anymore. Bye! Same with FIFA. Yep. They're just like, it's been, like a year or two since our last Call of Duty again. Okay, copy, paste, slap a new number 6 on there, and away we go. Let's go. I have the Pokemon banking software for the GameCube, Wii, and Wii U. And you can use Pokemon Stadium to trade Gen 2 to Gen 3, meaning you can get a Pokemon from Gen 1 up to 3DS. Damn. It's so complicated, though. It's so complicated that you might as well just go catch a new one.
This is just Nintendo protecting their intellectual property. No. If that was the case, Nintendo would be going after multiple developers. This is a direct attack on Pocket Pair because the comparisons hurt their feelings. Now, of course, the lawsuit is still ongoing. There is no confirmed victory for Nintendo. Of course, that doesn't stop Nintendo fanboys from celebrating, but the removal of the ability to glide with a PAL is obviously a compromise that Pocket Pair is making in the meantime as legal proceedings continue. Whether it will be patched back in if they win, I don't know, but I cannot imagine them patching it back in if they lose. Hell, I can't imagine this game being online if they lose. I would imagine Nintendo would try their absolute hardest to ensure Palworld is completely removed from existence. In which case...
Yeah, and then what? Then everyone just loses their money?
They would be even more evil than they are right now. But let's not kid ourselves, that is their end goal. Why? Because like I said, Palworld is the first Pokemon-inspired game to quite possibly have outsold Pokemon on the Switch. Instead of trying to win those PC gamers over, Nintendo said, fuck you PC gamers, fuck you Xbox and PlayStation gamers, buy a Switch, play Pokemon, even though it's clearly inferior. Gamers said, nah, we choose Palworld, and Nintendo said, well, let me go ahead and ensure Palworld doesn't exist anymore. Now,
yeah,
come and buy a fucking
exactly.
Switch. I can't believe I'm about to dust off this ancient-ass meme, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. This is how the mafia works. Nintendo is outright stifling innovation. They are not allowing people to transform the stale old formula into something better. So if they can find any little thing in your game that resembles them, no matter how much they have to reach to grab those straws across the room,
they'll do it
to make it count. They'll do it. And they do it with zero shame, zero remorse, zero humility. Just imagine if one day Ford patented steering wheels and decided no other car is allowed to use a steering wheel anymore. Imagine if McDonald's patented it so that nobody else could use sesame buns but them. Imagine if I patented it so salt content couldn't be used by anyone else. Alex wouldn't even exist. Or better yet, imagine if Fender patented it so only they could use 6-string guitars. The possibilities get more ridiculous as you realize you can't really take full control and ownership over an idea, because at the highest level, it's ridiculous. This is the furthest I have ever seen any company stretch a patent. This really does mean Nintendo.
Oh my god, I love seeing all these side-by-side comparisons because it just really shows. It just I don't know, Nintendo. Maybe make your game look better like the freaking Palworld does. Holy. Trees are patented now. Can't have trees. Yes, buy a Switch, then buy our Discord feature on the Switch, then buy the Nintendo subscription, and please note we can make your Switch unusable whenever we want. No refunds, yes. Yes, we can brick it at any time we see fit. How dare other video games have their character eat food? Not allowed. They must not eat. It's not the basic human function. Frick my life, we have ads. If they can brick it at any time, you don't own it. Nope. We're slowly starting to not own anything anymore these days. Everything's just rent. You're just renting everything. You just give them your money and they can do whatever they want.
It's just telling everybody, yes, we get it. Palworld is better. And for that very reason alone, we're gonna take it away from you. Just think about it. Nintendo is legitimately the reason we cannot have nice things. The fact that the smallest similarities, hell, not even similar, the fact that a gameplay mechanic that dozens upon dozens of other games can use right now as we speak can be taken to court to be removed means that a lot of your future purchases could be affected by corporations like Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft if any one of them decides to get that petty. There is absolutely no way this could lead to anything good in the industry. This means
I loved the hell out of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Like, it was actually the game I spent the most amount of hours in, I think, and I completed the Pokedex. Like, I loved the living shit out of it. But it's killing me seeing the side-by-side of it in Palworld. It makes me want to cry.
Developer that wants to actually try and challenge these big corporations will have far less incentive to do so. This is also Nintendo trying to teach a lesson to anybody else that dares to meet a demand that...
Then again, I guess if I'm being honest as well, like when I think of Pokemon, this is the aesthetic that I think of. Like, this is the art style that I think of, where it's kind of like cartoony and simple. So I guess there's that.
That they are failing to meet themselves. They don't want alternatives, and they don't want you enjoying other people's products. Nintendo is the most evil gaming company on this planet right now, and you can't convince me otherwise. You would have to pay me an exorbitant amount of money to even support and play Nintendo games at this point. Be aware that your money given to this company results in you getting screwed over, one way or another. You won't see it coming, but when it happens, you'll be feeling it. There is nothing to gain from supporting a company that doesn't even want you to have options. Now, going forward, when people wonder, wow, how come there isn't anybody like Nintendo? How come nobody can match Nintendo? Just remember, that's because anybody who's tried is bullied out of doing so by Nintendo. When you wonder, where is the innovation? How come we're not seeing it? It's because companies like Nintendo financially ensure it doesn't happen. And it's moments like this.
Yeah, they don't care about like advancing their technology or whatever. They're just like, no, this is our mechanic and that's it.
Make you
Nobody
wonder,
else can use it.
how much of what Nintendo gets credit for is even theirs? How much about what is praised when it comes to Nintendo is even legitimate? How much of that innovation is actually theirs? Do they really get the credit, or have they legally made sure they are seen as the creditor? It destroys the very image of what people praise and think is the pinnacle of all game developers. They are the Disney of the gaming industry. Oh, but what am I saying? You know, all of this is gonna fall on deaf ears because their NPC-ass consumer base are full of morons who were raised more by their Nintendo 64 than their parents, which explains why they have much more love for one than the other, and why they're social outcasts and rejects and weirdos. They have yet to learn how to love others as much as they love their brand. And when it comes to Nintendo, I am praying for the day they get knocked down a peg or two and are in a desperate position to win you back over. Not that they ever lost you, because all they have to do is dangle Donkey Kong above your head and you will clap like a seal, put down your pre-order purchase, because you're easy. So easy, not even a gaming journalist would want to play you. Like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. That being said, I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, someone needs to show Nintendo they can't just do this shit. Please. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Palworld. Like, I really hope it will just be over with soon and they're not gonna have to make any more compromises. My biggest fear at the moment that I can think of is that they will also have to compromise and make you not be able to, like I said, mount the pals before and use them as a transportation. And that will suck. That will suck big time. The gliding sucks, but the gliding was kind of meh for me to begin with. Especially on pals that I felt like they should actually be able to just fly. But, yeah. Yeah. It's really fudged up that they can just do this.